Wait.
Okay, so yeah, we're live now. Sorry, giving the to my son here who's actually here with me. He's surfing the web, doing some things. We're on the YouTube player. I know I've told a lot of you I have OBS so we can look at the screen, but I haven't done that so far because the YouTube player works better. What's up, Corey? How's it going? So how's the channel going, by the way, Corey? Let me know. It seems like it's a little bit wobbly. Yeah, I can see your comments, Corey. I can see them today. Hey, Mateo, could you move over there? It's the table's kind of wobbly when you type. Sorry. So yeah, things are good. Job's going great so far. Already got some stuff out, so I can't tell you much about it, but you know, it's good to get work done. That's all I can tell you. What's up, Joseph? Thanks for coming by. Just started on the front-end masters, just kind of easing into it this week. I started on like Tuesday, and I'm almost done with my first course here. It should have been done a lot faster, but that's okay because it's more about learning, not about just plowing through content. You submitted 8 new videos today. Dang. It's a tutorial over using Code Push with React Native. Very nice. Very nice. Right now I'm learning Git, which is actually in like the expert level, but I just need it. So I need to get up to speed on Git. So I'm doing that. And then also the Front-End Masters has like their total web developer series. I just started. I think I'm like an hour in. That's on an 11-hour course, but it's pretty good. It's really good. All things that are true when he talks about like, hey, just copy paste code. I do that all the time. And this guy works for Microsoft, so it's good to hear that. It's not like you do that all the time, but you got to make it, rework it, and understand what's going on. But you know, Stack Overflow is something that you use all the time. And the Mozilla Developer Network, or MDN, it doesn't stand for Mozilla anymore. So. What are you doing for coding? My son asked in the chat. I'm a front-end developer. Mateo, my son got he got a laptop for Christmas, so I got him a laptop. So hopefully he's gonna take some more interest in technology. Am I gonna make him code? No, that'd be miserable. I think to try to do that while I'm trying to do all my stuff too. So yeah, I think that's funny, huh? No, I'm not a hacker. I'm a front-end developer. Now, Joseph, what do you got going on? You know what? I need to share this. I always forget to share these things. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I share it to Facebook. Let me know what's going on. It's what, Saturday? It's noon here. Trying to get back into the YouTube life. It has been pretty well. I've had more views, I think, now than ever. And my most viewed video currently within the last 48 hours is the new Udemy review. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for the like, whoever did that. Appreciate it. Thanks, son, for the like. I appreciate it. So what's everyone else got going on today? Let me know in the comments section. So by typing out your answer. I really think, honestly, when you're getting kids to learn how to code, it's really about typing is first. You want to get that hurdle out of the way because it's a lot simpler than, I think it's easier than programming for sure. And you can get that mental block out of your brain so you're not constantly breaking contact between typing and actually coding. Just sharing this to some of the Facebook groups I'm in. So got 2 likes. Appreciate that. Oh, 3 likes, excuse me. I got 3 likes on the channel. Remember, let me know in the comments by typing your answers. Everyone, including you, son.
I already answered that. Remember that Claude did?
Yes. Remember to, if you're gonna talk in the chat. Let's take a look. Who's here? We got 3 people here. It's only been 4 minutes. Not bad. The beard's starting to grow in a little more. It looks better on camera than in real life. It's kind of like at that awkward stage. I haven't grown out a beard in a very long time, so And give it a shot. Let's see. I'm going to try to share your link. Thank you very much. Anyone else who wants to share the link? It's right here. Anyone else except for you, Mateo. Leave that link there. So odd here, trying to do this all at once. And New Year's resolutions. I think we talked about that last time. Does anyone else want to share New Year's resolutions? Let's see. I don't think I shared the Twitter yet. Let's go ahead and do that. Just a moment here. If you have a question, you're watching this at a later time, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer those. And so yeah, go ahead and leave those in the comments and I'll answer them. It takes me a little while sometimes, but I usually can get to them. Better posture, that's what you're working on? Yeah, me too. I have an adjustable desk, so now I actually like make it like higher, so it looks like I'm a little kid when I'm using it because it helps my posture. That's one thing I've been working on too. And just walking and eating better has helped my posture out a lot. Although I should be working on my core, but you know, you can only do so much. So it's what, 6 minutes in. I'll give it about another 10 minutes, see if anyone shows up. And if not, you know, and we're done with questions, we'll wrap it up. Today is mostly just hanging out, doing a little bit of cleaning. Not much eventful stuff going on today. So, web development in 2019, I've been seeing a lot of videos about web development and how to do it. To be honest, I don't know. It still seems like it's the same, just with different frameworks. No jQuery, just straight JavaScript. What are your thoughts on that, Corey? I guess I think I've already iterated this, but YouTube goals for this week, not this week, this year are, I want to get over 10,000 subscribers, but I don't know if I can do that. Let's see, I'm at 4,600. I don't know how some of these guys like Aaron and Beta, they just kill it, and they have tons of subscribers. What is that? Something on JavaScript? React? I can't remember what I said. Can you remind me again, Corey? Talking about what to learn in 2019 web development. Yeah, just learn it all. There's just a bunch of context that you have to learn all at once. I think you need to get started with HTML, CSS. Oh man. And you're gonna notice, I mean, when you're studying on your own and you're doing your own designs, especially as a developer, what you're going to design is going to be much different than maybe like a designer would do. And sometimes I might do something crazy and it really pushes you to your limits. And that's when you're gonna learn the most. Holy crap, like learning even more about CSS, you know, it's like every month that goes by, I'm learning even new tricks in CSS, and I consider myself to be very, very good at CSS. But there's just so much more to do. And I'm not even doing like too many crazy things like animations or transitions, just like positioning or layering, all those things. And it's crazy cool to learn about that, and more Flexbox, of course. If you want 10 case stats, be like Josh Fluke and make tons of clickbait videos. Yeah, I mean, that's anything with YouTube. That's the nature of it now, unfortunately. And, you know, it's hard for me to sell out. It really is. It's hard for me to get the clickbait titles, but because, I mean, YouTube isn't the end game. It's more like an ongoing thing. I want to actually help people. I want them to actually have tips and trips, and I want to be able to inspire people. But like with clickbait stuff, I get that more people are going to see that, but it's not necessarily the type of viewers that I want. Real life Google interview, when it's just a discussion with a recruiter. Yeah, stuff like that. And not to knock Joshua Fluke or anything like that, but just not the end game for me. And I get that it doesn't help with the algorithm, but hopefully not too much of my content has been clickbaity. And if it has, I try to correct that and make something better. For instance, web development versus hand coding. I did a video on that, and oh, there's a hair on the camera here. That's why it looks like that. I did a video on that, and it did not receive good feedback, so I redid it, and that's actually coming out tomorrow. So check it out. Check that video out when it drops tomorrow, and hopefully it's better. So anytime I do those clickbait titles, I try to correct them. Unfortunately, like Front End Masters, that's not a very clickbaity title, but let's hope we attract the right viewers, and that's sometimes true. We got the founder of Front End Masters actually in there and looked at the video, which is great. So hopefully he keeps on watching, and we can help shape the platform. I like to think that some of these reviews I do, like the people from the actual like company watch them, because some of these things like interactivity and ratings and stuff, they start to creep in later down the road, and I like to think it's because of me, even though that's probably not true. So LinkedIn Learning now has a Q&A section, so like a comment section, and Skillshare has a review section. Two things that we're missing. Now, am I gonna be able to say for sure, yeah, that's all me? No, but one of the highest like videos for Skillshare is my video, so I can't help it. I can think like, yeah, I'm kind of pushing that along. Corey says he has done like 500 plus videos on how to get a job. Yeah, I want to do a whole course on how to get a job, but like my way. So that's been done. But I mean, a lot. That's the course I want to do for Udemy. I want to do a Udemy course on your career trajectory, not just getting a job, but like improving yourself, looking for the right things, how to do interviews, how to set up your portfolio, do some social media, communicate, all those things, like research, and then how to make a plan to study. Those are things that I want to do, but you know, they've been done a lot, but hopefully I can do something like that and add to the community in my own way, because coding videos, those have been done to death, right? And Traversing Media does a great job on that. And so trying to find your way into the right spot, that's what I'm trying to focus on now, is trying to find that something that's unique to me. And if you guys have any ideas to make, or if you can tell me why you watch my channel versus some other channel, or in addition to some other channel, but why me specifically versus someone else, that would help me out a lot to help shape this content. Yeah, let's see here. I'm just pulling up my old videos here. My Udacity review is the most viewed, although that's kind of tapered off because it's been like 2.5 years since that came out. 125 views, and then Skillshare, 67,000 views. This is my second most viewed video, and that came out like way after the other ones. It's been out for almost 2 years now. So interesting. I think the reason why all these, it's like during the new year, a lot of people like search these things up, and they because they were trying to do some New Year's resolutions, and so right now is a boom for me. Let's see, Kirkwood81 says, "Sup, Ricky, I got started watching your videos, very awesome. Almost 9 months in, and I feel that I'm not improving fast enough with CSS. Is this normal? Always, dude. It's always normal to feel that way. The best thing to do is just like get a design and code it up, or get in the Chrome developer tools and try to find out what something's doing in CSS, and like toggle off the properties, and then also like change them. And like usually the cool thing about Google developer tools is like if you go in there and change like the value to the key, like say like it's like background, you can usually like find that on MDN or even W3 Schools at this point. It's okay, and you can find something there and play around with it in Google tools or Google developer tools, and switch them out and do something, and then you can do that for your own site. So Chrome developer tools are very useful for that. There is a course on Front End Masters. No, they're not paying me, by the way, but I just thought there and I need to use it too to up my game. But that's really what helps me with CSS, is using them with the Chrome developer tools. Mateo says he watches my channel because I am his dad. Thank you. Very good insight. Yeah, no problem, Kurt. Of course, read more books about it, but one of the best things you can do is take that limited knowledge that you have with CSS going in 9 months and start playing around with it in developer tools. With padding, if you go in there and hit like F12 on, or inspect or whatever, if you're on a Mac or PC, I use both. So I know they're a little bit different, but really the developer tools are going to be the same. You scroll down, you can see the box model at the very end, and it will show you like the border, the padding, the radius, and it's going to help you out a ton by doing that and just being able to tinker around with it. JavaScript, a good way to learn is do algorithms and then use a Google Developer Console. So that's also a good way to do some JavaScript. So you just got started watching my videos, Kirk. First of all, thanks. I appreciate you watching those videos. Hopefully you're getting a lot out of it. Let me know what brought you to my videos though. Like what were you searching or was on browse features? This is really good information for me to learn like how new viewers are coming to the channel and what they're looking for. If you're willing to share that information, of course. Yeah, yesterday I actually hit like they do views by every 48 hours, and I hit an all-time high of 27, which is awesome. Now we're at 26. So things are good. Things are good in YouTube land now because I took 3 months off and it was kind of rough, but now it's nice to get back into the swing of things, and I got new audio, so hopefully you guys are going to be able to enjoy that. I got to make use of it now. I have a wireless audio, like it's in the community tab. I'll probably share some more stuff in the community tab because I think it's a good tool to have, but I just haven't been making use of it. See, we've been going live for about 17 minutes. It usually takes about 20 minutes to kick it off. Bo. Hello, chaps. Keep an eye on that one, moderators. I just have a sneaking suspicion here. Hope you're doing well, Bo. Thanks for coming by. So we talked about social media. No, we didn't talk. We talked about courses. We talked about the channel, making coffee. BRB. Smart man or lady. Coffee is great. Coffee, I gotta have like 3 cups of coffee every day. Coffee says, I think you did a video on Team Treehouse review, and that just kept me watching. Awesome. That was one of my like first videos, and the audio was all jacked up. So I'm glad you stayed. It was way too loud, but the videos have gotten better. I wish I should do another Team Treehouse review, but I'm still one person, and they take a long time. So. I appreciate you suffering through that, Kurt. So Front-End Masters is also a good one that I'm going through right now. So that might be a series you want to look at. And I'm going to do that every other week. So started this week on like Tuesday or Wednesday, so I haven't been able to do a ton of studying on there, but I'll get back to it for sure. So hopefully the video quality has improved over the years. And we're only getting better, so yeah. The next thing to get is lighting, but I don't really need lighting. The lighting I have is sufficient for what I use it for. But if we go off location or something, definitely look at upgrading that. So one of the big things I'm looking at is getting a house, but you got to do it right. Same thing with web development. You got to know when the right time to do something is. So. That's what I'm up to this New Year. Educating myself on home hunting and house hunting and of course front-end development, and then doing my own course. Kirk says they're awesome, but I think I'm just in my head right now, not enjoying the journey. That's okay, dude. That's totally okay. That happens a lot. And so when that happens with me, I'll take a break and I'll try to do something different, but still related, whether that be content strategy for me for like a website or something, and I'll try to integrate into my own stuff. Or like even shortcuts, like say I want to get better at typing, or I need to get more shortcut keys or hotkeys, or maybe Git. And if I don't want to do something that's related to web development that tightly coupled, like marketing or graphic design, things that I can do that are like my core thing, I'm not gonna have to struggle too much, learning. Granted, all those things do take some time, but that's what I would do if I were you. Then taking care of health or something like that, or just doing memory things, something that helps you like take a break but still supplements what you're learning. So when you come back, you'll be a stronger developer. The last 6 months, I learned more about soft skills. I've been at this job for about a month, but before this, I was in Boise for 6 months, and I hardly did any coding at work. And I had to really figure out how to make make sure I learned the most, and still take advantage of that, even though I wasn't doing as much coding. So I learned as much about communication as I could, communicating to coworkers and being more outgoing than I normally am, and learning how to work with different people. And so that's helped out a lot. Still, like any job, you gotta like ease into it. And so that's what I'm doing currently, trying to figure out the culture and all that, and then use those communication skills in appropriate context. Thanks for being so active there, Kirk. Appreciate it. Anyone else? New Year's resolutions, any questions that you have for me? That's what this is here for. Do not feel embarrassed to ask any questions, because that's literally what this live stream is about. Any questions you guys have about development or online learning or anything, I'm here to help you guys out. Sad thing is, I'm glad I'm just using the laptop mic here. I wish I had like the old mic, but it broke, so I probably have to buy a new one. Woe is me. Went to a Flatiron meetup, and they almost got me. I take a Flatiron as like a boot camp. My recommendations on boot camps, I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to tell you anyway. My recommendations with boot camps or like Udacity or anything is like do a lot of self-study on your own first, at the very least 3 months. But I would say at least 6 months of like, 3 months, a month and a half, 2 months playing around, just easing into it, then serious 3 to 6 months of serious study. And then if you're still feeling like it's the right thing, go through there. Or if you don't need it, don't. I didn't, but it was just very hard still. But you're going to have to do that a lot anyway, even after boot camp. You're going to have to study a lot. And even when you're at boot camp, you're going to have to study a lot on your own too. But if you can do self-study and get through it, then you got a great skill to have. So that's my recommendation before you do anything. But you've been doing this for about 9 months, Kurt. So yeah, I can see if you felt that way, but you might not. Use a lot of those learning paths and do that. Learning paths are going to help build up your confidence. And fill in some of the gaps. I'm doing that too. That's why I'm doing the beginner path on Front-End Masters, is to just fill in some gaps that I have and to reinforce some of the knowledge that I've already learned too. So yeah. Bobo says Front-End Masters is hardcore. That's what I hear. So you got to build up. If you think Front-End Masters is hardcore, then I suggest that you go through Team Treehouse. Team Treehouse is so accessible. It's the most enjoyable learning, online learning experience that I ever had, and that's still true to this day. And I haven't used them for like 2 or 3 years, like longer than that, like 3 years or so when I first got started. And so, yeah, they're great, and I don't use them anymore. So I'm sure they've gotten better. They talk to you. Well, yeah. Do you mean Front-End Masters, or do you mean Team Treehouse? Either. Oh, I think you mean like the Team Treehouse, where like you can go to Twitter and hit them up. Yeah. I've never done that myself. I usually do. Oh, they reply in threads. That's freaking sweet. I didn't know that. When I first started, even now though, like I'm not very like, oh, I'm gonna go out there and ask someone about the question. I'm gonna try to find out on my own, unless it's like in a work setting. Then that's totally different. Then I will ask, and I'll try not to ask too much, But I'm not gonna go to like a thread and ask, or to Twitter and ask. And I'm not saying you should do that at all. In fact, you should do that and get your answers done. I just have never done it. So it's a skill maybe I should be working on. So Front-End Masters, Team Treehouse, anything else anyone wants to add to this? Questions on learning? Udemy seems to be taking off. Skillshare seems to be taking off. Yeah, now Udemy, my new Udemy review in 2018 is the most watched video by a large margin over the past 48 hours. You know, it looks like people are trying to learn here. Bobo, it's so hard to say your name. Bobo, I'm just gonna call you Bobo here. Any good books you liked? Yeah, Clean Code, that might be a little bit hardcore, but still good. Eloquent JavaScript and JavaScript, You Don't Know JS by Kyle Simpson. Those are great books to read. And there's a bunch of other ones too, but those are the ones that immediately come to my head every time I think of that. Code Complete is a good one too, but I think of Clean Code, You Don't Know JavaScript, and Eloquent JavaScript every time I think of these. I bought a few, some were so bad. Yeah, there are a lot of crappy books, and sometimes it's not even the book's fault. It just takes a long time to make a book. Then you print it out, and it's almost like immediately outdated. You know, Code Complete is not going to be outdated. It's like thinking in broad terms. Eloquent JavaScript, it still talks about JavaScript. You Don't Know JS. I think Kyle Simpson updates those, and they're all like from the core JavaScript. Great courses to have. A video course I always recommend is JavaScript: The Weird Parts, which is a video course, but it's still awesome and talks about core JavaScript, not ES6, object-oriented programming. It's cool stuff. You should look at it too. Let's see. I'm trying to promote you in the developer hangout Discord server, but the mods gave me a nasty block. Ouch. Ouch. Well, thanks, man. Sorry about that. It happens. Thanks. Bobo's going to go ahead and Google that. Thank you very much. Road to React. I've never used that one. One reason why I'm such a proponent of video courses versus books is that you can swap out a video. Yeah, it takes time, but it's easier to swap out incrementally or do some things like that, or depreciate it or something like that. It's easier to do that than to do with print. You know, you can't say this is out of date now that easily, right? It's gone, and videos are easier to keep up to date. People get drunk off of power. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not me, of course, never. Never. Devious says, yo, one of the mods from there, sorry, we black people just randomly dropping links. I'll toss this Q&A in there. Your content looks pretty good. Thank you. And yeah, thanks, Devious. So all is restored. All is restored, Corey. So thanks for sharing, by the way. Both of you, Devious and Corey, or McAvoy Digital. Yeah, I've been doing this for a couple years now, a few years, so appreciate it. You might want to share, I'm not sure about that server, I don't know if I'm in there, but for the master's journey is what I'm doing now, that might be a good one to share. So thanks for coming by. Any questions? Any questions about developers, online learning, even about my life personally here? Feel free to ask. That doesn't mean I'll always answer it, but you're more than welcome to ask. And if you do like this content and you just got here, leaving a like or comments or subscribing does definitely help out, and let me know what I'm doing right, and helps push the channel along, and sharing as well. Let's see. Yeah, I think one of the best things that's not related to code is just continually learning, and that might sound kind of exhaustive, but it doesn't have to be like code or something you don't want to do. Like if you want to learn like history or anything like that, that helps keep your mind active too, I think. That's one of my big tips is keep your brain constantly stimulated and educated, and it's going to help. So like, I think when I was in Boise, I was doing less. I don't think I was. And that really was hard on my brain. So if I would have just kept up on it and learned a little more, one thing that did help alleviate that is listening to audiobooks and going on a walk. Those things helped out a lot with my brain. And just going on a walk and just having your thoughts, being able to gather your thoughts can help out a lot too, in my opinion. Devious says, have you considered doing a collaboration? Am I open to it? Yes. Have I considered it? No. Eric Hanchett reached out, and that was great. Even though my video on him didn't do too well. It's not that it wasn't well received, it's just that it didn't hit the algorithm. So but if someone came to me and wanted to do a collab, I always love doing those. I did that with Dylan, I did it with Madison. I don't know if any of you know Madison, and then Telmo. Those are great. Devious says, we're going to toss you in the server feed. Your videos will show up in a channel there, and we're about 9K members, so hopefully give you a bump. Thanks, Devious. I appreciate that. That helps out. Every little bit helps. And 9,000 is quite a lot. Appreciate that. Let's see. Corey says, Devious is from the Developer Hangout Discord. Content creators such as Traversing Media hang out there. Cool. Yo, did you guys see Traversing Media's like MTV Cribs edition? Where he showed off his workstations? Yeah, that place is legit. I can't wait to get up to that level. I think I'm getting there, but as far as like being a developer, not necessarily YouTube, but I'm excited to have a video like that. Hopefully in a year or so, around a year, give or take a little bit of time. So I really enjoyed that content. Traversing Media is great. You all should subscribe. Check them out. Don't you have a pretty sick computer? Yeah, I do. I mean, it looks better, on camera than Traversing Media is, but I'm sure it's more powerful. Like that computer tower probably cost me $2K. I built it myself, but like everything else is like, it might be like a $2,500, $3,000 computer once you add all the peripherals. But someone was rolling like one of those mop buckets across they were rolling across the floor here. So your OFC, welcome to drop by if you like. You're all for your. I don't know all the acronyms. I'm not hip anymore, guys. Thank you for letting me come to the Discord. I'm pretty busy most of the time, and that's not like in a like a diss or anything like that. But I usually do my YouTube stuff, hit up LinkedIn, and talk to my friends on there, and then study. And so I know that Sammy or someone did a Discord channel for me. I just don't use it. It's not that I don't want to, but it's hard for me to keep all these things and do all these things efficiently. So Sammy set one up for me, Corey. He's like a 13, 14-year-old kid. I gotta get on Discord, Corey says. I know. What else do I need to get on there, Corey? TikTok? You need me to get on TikTok too? Bobo says, the clean code book has like Java and C#. Yeah, they do, and that's okay. You use that and think of it as like hypothetical code. And even if you're doing it on like early in your career, look at it as like pseudocode, but the advice in there is still good. It talks about how to set up your code, your variables, and think about these things. Excellent course. Grind drill. So yeah, I mean, look at the code, be exposed to it. Don't think that you have to do everything like they're doing or have the same syntax, but the overall approach is good. So when you get into JavaScript, you'll have this cool knowledge, just a higher level knowledge that a lot of people don't have. So organizing code, keeping it modular, all these things are going to be important to you. So when you see something like an import statement, when you get to like ES6, and you're like, why are they doing this? Why don't they just leave it in one file or something? You can understand modularity. Corey says, when am I going to do an interview with Josh Fluke? Probably never. And it's not because I don't want to, but I'll never reach out to him personally. And I'm pretty small. I don't think Josh Fluke has ever seen my content. And he's a big time YouTuber. And Devious says, as long as humans can read the code and it performs well enough, that's what really matters at the end of the day. Yeah, readability first, runability first, I guess, then readability, and then performance. That's what matters most, in my opinion. Does it run? Great. Is it readable? Great. What's the performance on? And then we worry about performance. We can usually improve that. But if we can't read it, it's very hard to improve, or much harder to do. Great observation, Davius. I'm trying my best now. Some of these screen names you guys got here, some of these are pretty hard for me to say. What is this? Macaboy? I'm totally joking. But Bobo. That's a hard one. I'm only giving you guys some slack. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to razz you too much. Devious. Processing power is cheap. Developer time isn't. Exactly. And it's only getting cheaper and better. So you can write less efficient code. Does that mean you can write crap code? No. It doesn't mean that performing better, it doesn't matter? No. Especially if you're doing something like e-commerce, then it matters a ton. But if you don't have a site up at all, then, so think about that. Sorry guys, I just had coffee. I just need to get that coffee taste out of my mouth, so in the gum goes. I'll take it out shortly here so you don't have to watch me chew gum on camera. Bonobo says, I've been applying for junior jobs. Do all companies that use React use Redux? No, they do not. Or can I get an entry level without Redux? Probably, but you're going to need to do some stuff. Entry level jobs are not common anymore, and that's not to discourage you at all. That's not what I mean by that. But don't try to work. Don't think to yourself, I'm going to become an entry level developer. Think I'm going to become a developer. So that's your responsibility and your work ethic much higher and your standard higher. And so when you do get the entry level job, if you get one, you're already like making your way to the next level. You're already being responsible. Bobo says, yeah, hardly no junior roles advertised. A better way to get into junior roles is like work at a company and then try to work your way in there and show off your work. But that doesn't always work either. I wouldn't count on it. But if you can find something close to what you want to do, and in like an industry, try to work your way in there and continue doing your stuff, as long as you're like not wrecking your job history. Because it might be a year or two that you have to keep on studying. And if you're in the right company, it might be easier to move up, or at least keep making money. So that's only if you have to, right? If you're like one of these younger guys or a teenager, you don't have to work that hard. Just doing it as a hobby is great. That's plenty, and then you can get serious afterwards. Corey says, I don't use Redux anymore. I will switch to Apollo client. Yeah, and you can use like context, although some people haven't talked about it or encourage it. React context. They're going to start taking over like that. It's going to become integrated into Redux, some sort of like higher order state management for sure, because it's Facebook, right? They got the power, and now they see that it's done good. They've seen Flux. They're going to make their own. So I would say with React instead of Redux, but even before that, like JavaScript. Like I'm not doing any React right now. I'm just focusing heavily on JavaScript, core JavaScript, ES6, and that's it. That's really where the main focus is going to be for front-end masters. Although some of that does have React and stuff in there. Core JavaScript is going to let you switch from framework to framework or not use it at all when you don't need to. Devious says, don't forget to look outside of development studios for places that need developers too, especially if you need some experience. Yeah, I have not even worked at a developer studio. It's always been some other company that needs developers. I mean, that's the great thing about it. It's like every company now needs developers. So definitely don't look that way. Like I said, get into an industry that you like, or if you're at your current job, see if you can work your way in there. Because it's standard now. And if your company doesn't recognize that, well, they're gonna or get out. So, that's just the truth. Great insight, great questions, guys. Any other questions about development? Oh, you're welcome, Bubba. Devious says, there's a lot of adjacent fields to development too. Yeah, user experience, web design, DevOps. What are some other ones here? Digital marketing, digital analytics. Yeah, definitely. You don't have to be just development. I think it's cool to be a developer. I got into it because I wanted to be in marketing, and those are some of the skills, and I looked at it as more marketable. So I just went there. And in some cases, generic IT. Yeah, for sure. So I just went, I did that in 2015, I think, is when I started getting serious, or 2016. And even then, everyone was like, is the market saturated? Kind of, but you just keep on gunning towards it, and you keep on working your way up. I went to sorry for those of you who've heard this story, went to a social media position. You know, I quit my banking job and then committed full-time to web development for 4 or 5 months. And then I went to a social media position and did WordPress development on the side to a company that needed a front-end developer. Did that for a year and a half. Went to Boise and did that for 6 months. Now I'm here at my senior developer job. Kenwood says, can you get a junior dev job with small amounts of JavaScript in your projects? Yeah, you can. And but I wouldn't count on it. You know, it depends on where you're at. Like companies just need developers sometimes, and they don't necessarily know, or they need to get more design out. I've always been heavy on design and light on JavaScript. Does that mean I don't know JavaScript? No, absolutely not. I do my algorithms, like I pass my coding challenges or anything like that. Could I be better? Absolutely. But I'm much heavier, and I have a lot more design sense and CSS than the average developer. And that's fine. That's everyone, once you get up to these higher levels, it becomes less about knowing your specific thing and becoming like unique. But with all that said, yeah, I need to be up to speed on JavaScript, and I'm working hard to not just be good at it, which I'm at, but exceptional. Bobo says, not in here, Australia was so hard. Here's all JavaScript dev, WordPress with strong PHP or JS library framework. Yeah, absolutely. And that's here too, right? Like when I need to use JS, I need to use it. Like it might just be like a few lines or like, not very much code, but I need to know how it works inside and out. So, and I knew, why it's running, how it's running, do all the logic. It's not just like, take this. It's even though it's like a little bit of code, because you know it so well, it's short and terse, and you know exactly what it's doing. Diva says, yeah, I've seen developers who are so absolutely atrociously bad. You'd be surprised, at least in the US, what jobs you can land. It's a numbers game. Yeah, it is quality and quantity together. And I've heard a lot of people say, like, focus a lot on this one job and make sure it's perfect. That's only if it's a job that you absolutely want or at a company that you absolutely want. Otherwise, it's a numbers game, but you have to make sure that you look really good. Do you have a portfolio? Get that. Do you have like something like a blog? Get that if you can. Make sure your LinkedIn is on point. Make sure your resume is on point. I have 2 different resumes, Word document and a fancy like design one. And then make sure all your branding matches, all that stuff, like your Twitter's right, and a network. And so when it's ready, when it's time to go and you have these projects, you can show them, like, I'll just pull up my site on the phone when they ask something. And then I'll just show all the stuff that I've done, which has helped out a ton. That I can just pull it out, show them on my phone what I've done, and they can see, and I can respond to their questions with actual code, with actual projects. Devious says, desperation, they need anyone who can slap some code together and they'll take it. Yeah, anyone. But at the end of the day, you still have to be able to slap the code together right. And even that is hard because there's so much you have to learn. All the extra stuff is extra. So how do the bad devs get hired? How is if they're in the right area, or if they have the right person, or they're able to sell themselves. Even good selling yourself is another skill that you need, no matter what level. If you're a beginner, you're bad, or just years of experience. Years of experience can come off as a skill. So, Bubba says, I paid for a fancy Word PDF document for $50. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. you know, I would just get a plain Word document PDF and organize it well and look on like design, like graphic design stuff. If you're going to be a front end developer, you should know some of those things anyway. And then organize it really well, and then make like a PDF like out of like a InDesign or Illustrator, or have someone do it for you if you can afford it. Looks so fancy, resume, or Photoshop. Like that's the other thing. I use Photoshop all the time, day in, day out, and I have to know how that works, at least in the context of what I'm using it as. And so that's a skill that a lot of developers may not have, but I have it and I use it every day, whether to like export assets or anything like that. Personal projects, it's great. I made my old site, my portfolio site, and I did part of it in Photoshop. So that should give you an idea of things that can help you stand out. Kirkwood says, will you sometime in the future do a tutorial on building your portfolio and deploying it? Oh, I did that with React, but it kind of turned it into a mess. I was going to do that, but it was never right. I was always so busy. But I am going to do this year, one of the goals is after this front-end learning challenge is about 2.5 months, do my own course, which will talk about portfolio stuff. Not really like in the granular, like that granular with like technologies, but how to set one up, what's important in there, and all that. Let's take a look here. Corey says, damn. Let me know what that's referring to, Corey. Selling yourself is a harder skill than learning development. That really depends on who you are. It is a separate skill. I find it easier, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Development is hard, and it gets harder and harder and harder. Like you can be really good at, you can spend, if I spend as much time on selling myself as being a developer, I would probably be in sales. But it is a hard skill to learn. You gotta learn about communication, presentation, negotiation, and these are all separate skills. Bobo says, can I link my portfolio for you? Yay or nay? Well, let me check it out. Well, it's asking me to leave the site. Okay, I'll allow it, but I won't be able to check it out. Diva says, I may be tainted. I spent 20 years working with code and a lot less working with people. Yeah, and that's something you got to watch out for too. Like, if you're not careful, you can lose that skill. Like at my first developer job, real developer job, I was in a corner all the time by myself. And if I didn't have this YouTube channel, I think my social skills wouldn't have grown. And just being here and presenting to you guys all the time, talking about code and development helps me have answers, helps me understand things, and then explaining things sometimes to other people, or other people explaining them to me. It's helped out a ton. Steven says, okay, I'll go ahead and remove this then. Oh no, it changed it 20 years. 20 years is a long time to be dealing with code. Yeah, but I recommend if you can learn communication, learn it and start talking to a lot of people, gradually expand your scope of people that you talk to on a daily basis. All good questions. We're getting some good questions now. Definitely. That's one of the things I'm trying to work on is presentations and communication before I get my course done. Getting better at it, and then improving the old productions, the video production too. Devious says, I know it's cliche, but man, how to win friends and influence people was a real help. Everyone should read that book. I've read it a few times. It's a good book. Another one is, what is it? It's a Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is another one that's kind of weird, but man, it has some good stuff in there, and you should definitely look at that book. Let's take a look at some of the books I have right now that are good in general. Rejection Proof is okay. That's a good one. I think you guys need to learn how to take rejection. I have a hard time with that, but that book helps. The Complete Software Developer's Guide by John Sonmez is great. Live stream's going strong. Looks like we have a decent amount of people here. Great stuff. Great stuff. Appreciate all the questions, by the way. Bobo says, curious future of web development, all these Wix sites. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. But they're going up in complexity. So that's why it's so hard to get a junior dev job, because they have these, plug and play things, but someone's got to run those. Someone's got to optimize the site. Someone's got to do the design. You just got to change your skill level or change what you do. Ironically, I've been focusing more on my foundation, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, accessibility. So it just more advanced basics, really. So, and that's going to help out a ton. Does this book touch on beginners? It's at all levels, Kirkwood. It's at all levels. It lets you know negotiation, communication, looking for a job. It's a great book. It's a fantastic book. It helped me out a lot. Evie says, I mean, some front-end jobs will likely move to back-end and bespoke solutions over time. Probably, just like some back-end solutions will be moved to some automated service. I mean, it's just an evolving platform. You're going to have to like couple it with something else, right? Because you're not going to have to, because some of these solutions already exist. So you might have to go full stack, or you might have to full stack development. Something that I'll probably do is learn full stack design and with a little bit of back end too. These are just things that you have to do. My pleasure, Kirkwood. Yeah, it's a good book. It's definitely a good book. It's a long book, so I got the audio book, and I think it's like 22 hours or something, and it's still worth watching or listening to. Doing the dishes or cleaning up or exercising or on a commute, you can knock it out. DBAs, yes. DBA says there's one skill you'll always find in demand, and that's database administrators. Yes, that is true, because it's hard to find. Like, it's hard to like show off these projects. So as a database administrator, it's hard to like even practice by yourself, although you can do it, and it's not fun. It's not sexy stuff. So yeah. You love MySQL. I know MongoDB, and that's all I know for database stuff. So I should get on it, but at least I know how databases work. I can interact and save stuff. Even with some of these hosting offerings popping up, yeah, I mean, like I said, if you're like doing homegrown stuff for like a company, then you're going to need to know that, and you can kind of expand upon it or customize it. So, yeah, MLab. I love MLab. Yeah, I use MLab. MLab's Beanstalk, all this stuff. The cool thing about any of these like databases and stuff, or any of these like automated processes, they help you work on the bigger picture. So that's something you should think about too. Am I just going to code? No, you need to think about the overall picture and where you fit and how you can contribute into that and make a difference. So like, oh man, I only know like front end. Like, how am I going to do this? How are you going to make a more enriched experience? For instance, maybe make a video player that's interactive. Like last year, I remember there was like some interactive thing from, I don't know if it was Geico or something, but you make a girl choose options, and like depending on what she did would change the video. It was really cool. It was interactive and responsive to a point, semi-responsive. Those are things you should think about. Or how can I make, for me, one of the dreams would be to create online learning templates or customized solutions for companies with front end and development and video production, and setting them aside like a Udemy, but specifically for each company. That would be the dream. Divya says, yeah, because those just don't hold up as systems grow and you need to power that. That is things like Postgres and such. Yeah, that's an unfortunate truth. But if you get started and you learn MongoDB, at least you're learning development or databases in context, right? Not just MongoDB, you're actually learning about storing data, grabbing data back and how that works. And then you can switch, just the how it's done a little bit. Yes, it's done differently on each side, but the core foundation is going to be the same, in my opinion. It's just like MongoDB and stuff is an easy way to get started with JavaScript. So you can at least not have to do too much context switching, like learning a new language on top of learning databases. Great questions, great input, guys. Really appreciate all the comments and all the interaction and all the feedback. Do we have any other questions in the chat? Do we have any more, advice? Or let's see. Bobo says, "Do you have a site?" I do have a portfolio site you can look at, Bobo. I'm going to go ahead and put it in here for you. It's made on React, server-side React with Next. Eva says, make your backend guys happy. Don't hammer their PVs. Yeah. Well, it all depends on where you're at, right? If you deal with database guys, you got to learn that. You should have a basic, knowledge. But if you don't use it on the day-to-day, then move to what you are using day-to-day, and then come back to it. I used Firebase once. I didn't like it. I'm not saying it's wrong by any means. I never really fell in love with Firebase. Well, it looks like we've been here for 56 minutes. We're going to end this at an hour. Unless you have questions, I'll go over that by all means. But if you have questions, keep them coming in. If you have comments, keep them coming in. What brought you to this site? What brought you to my channel? I haven't heard from everyone else, but whatever brought you to this channel helps me create content and be informed about what I should be making for the channel. Bobo says, your resume looks like a template I bought. I made the resume myself, and I did use inspiration from other ones, but it's not hard to make. Devious says, did Firebase feel oddly detached from you as well? Yeah, it was like its own custom thing, Devious. It didn't really feel like database stuff. It kind of was like, it felt weird. Yeah, it didn't feel robust. Kind of like more opinionated, I guess, is what I would say. Great stuff. Thanks for the likes and stuff in the comments, by the way. Got 5 watching. If you have a question, I highly recommend you leave it there. If you haven't, let me know where you're watching from. What corner of the world? If you feel comfortable doing that. Oh, again, fun fact for those of you who didn't know, only 32% of my audience is from like America, which is where I'm from, and the rest is all over the world. With second place going to India. Yeah, in Iowa, US here. Very nice. And I live in Idaho Falls, which is in Idaho. So not very many developers here. I work with like almost all of them. So all the front end developers, yeah, I work with almost all of them in the area. So kind of funny there. Kirk says, wow. What do you mean, wow? What's that supposed to mean? I guess the inspiring thing about it is, yeah, I do have a ton of videos. Kirk, it's not about where you are, it's about what you can contribute. In this area, I'm one of the very few. It does take a lot longer, and you have to learn a lot of different skills. I've had to learn different skills because you kind of have to be like an everything person, and then you can kind of like niche down into your specific everything. So, yeah, you can make it work anywhere, especially with development. Devious says, Iowa is kind of awesome. Sleeper place for devs, lots of jobs, minimal competition. Sweet. Could you not get the Ricky Garcia domain name? No, it's already taken up. I tried to get the Ricky Garcia domain name. I tried. Like the small amount being here, but a lot outside. Okay. I'm trying to understand what that means, Kurt. Sorry. Yeah, I try to get that. Ironically, there's already a Ricky Garcia out there. Who would have thought? Out of everyone in the world, there's someone that's has a domain. Egregious. Can't believe it. Bobo says that's one good thing about having a gypsy name like mine. Always available. Yeah, I don't know how to comment on that. Kirk says, meaning most of your followers are outside the US, right? Yes, most. Most of them are outside. Let's pull it up right now, actually. And I'll give you a better insight. So we got US 53, no, that's not right. Oh, I think whoa, no, okay. Watch time is 38% in the US right now. India is 8.9%. I think I've had more US because of my Udemy and Skillshare courses, or excuse me, videos taking off, my reviews on those. And then the UK is at 4.7%, Canada is 3.9%, and then, you know, Germany, it's like anywhere from 2 to 1% down or less. So it's really an international channel for real. Because, you know, like maybe 50, 60% of them carry 1% from the Netherlands, and everywhere else is like 0.5%. That's like all over the world, from Egypt to France, Saudi Arabia, Vietnam even. So yeah, it's all over the place. It is all over the place. Any other questions about web development? Me personally, self-education, user experience, any of those things? See. Oh, thanks, Kurt. Appreciate it. Bobo says friends live there. They have some great sites. Cool. Cool. Oh, Vietnam. Cool. All right. Well, it's been a full hour of doing a live stream here. Any more questions? Any more questions? Let me hang out for a little bit here and see. Do you have a GitHub? I do have a GitHub, Corey. I just never use it. I know it's terrible. I don't do many GitHub projects. It's not one of my favorite things to do. If I do a project, I want it to be out on the web or for a company, and that's the project. Just link to the company or link to the website or something that's up online rather than the GitHub. So that's different than a lot of people I know, but it's worked for me. And I'm not at like a junior level where I just have to do small things and put them in GitHub. So work experience in full-fledged projects. My handle is this, by the way, Darks Rich. You can see it in there and put it in GitHub as a handle. I just never use it. Bobo says, thank you for the video and answers, and I will go play Overwatch and own some new. Do you, Bobo? you got to get on the pull request bandwagon. I do, for real. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my day. Thanks for coming by. Again, if you're watching this at a later time, feel free to leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed and you like this content, subscribe, share it with people you know, and talk to you later. Bye.